So, the bridge that we are talking of is the Dwarksoi Bridge across the Umiam River on the Shillong bypass, and from the Lat Umroi Junction is around 35 to 36 kilometers. And this road is a very important connection for the entire 47-kilometer stretch of the Shillong bypass. So, this bridge was constructed under the NEC program, NEC supported scheme, started in 2004. And subsequently, with the construction of the Shillong bypass, this bridge was taken over by the National Highway Authority of India. And it is learned that due diligence was done to examine the structure, to examine the strength of the bridge, prior to the NHAI taking over the bridge from the State Mobility Department and corroborating it along the Shillong bypass. Now, sir, with that background, we also understand the very importance of the Shillong bypass, how it has served the state. It is a prime asset of the state, an infrastructure that has done away with the long hours of traffic jams that the people of the state have faced. 4 or 5 hours of traffic jam, especially during the winters, during the time when the tourist season is there. And it is also a pride of a state, sir, where a lot of people have come from across the nation to appreciate this very stretch of road. So, with that effort that has been put in by the government, at the same time, not only augmenting the physical infrastructure in the state, we are also looking at the convenience that has been brought to people who travel to different parts of the northeast through the Shillong bypass, carrying goods and essential items, and at the same time facilitating the traffic movement towards Jaintia Hills and also for movement of goods within the state of Meghalaya, sir. Now, sir, I stand also to appreciate vigilant citizens, the NGOs that have come forward, who have been very alert to bring out this subject, and at the same time going to the bridge and going underneath the bridge to see that the beams that have been constructed have cracked. And I also had gone with the officers from the Mobility Department, and I appreciate the Chief Engineer National Highway for his prompt response and other officers who have supported in this effort to alert the state government, to alert the department. At the same time, the district administration of Riboy coming out with a notification and an order stopping the trucks from above 10 metric tons to ply along that bridge, and alerting the deputy commissioners of East Khasi Hills and East and West Jaintia Hills not to allow the trucks to further come from that particular stretch. So that is also in support to the efforts that have already been taken by the National Highway Authority to immediately go to the bridge, see what can be done, and at the same time stopping the people from utilizing the bridge on the entire 2 lanes. So now it has become a single lane to minimize the traffic movement, at the same time not allowing both lanes to be utilized at the same time in order to prevent any kind of casualty. So, the sudden dilapidation of the bridge, the structure, how it has crumbled suddenly, when the lifespan of the bridge is expected to be at least 20 to 25 years. And with that background that I have presented before this August House, where the NHAI had already done the structural analysis prior to taking over the bridge, and at the same time also facilitating the construction of the road, the entire stretch with the bridge on it. Another bridge also was taken along with this one, sir. So one smaller bridge along near the boundary of Iaid village, as we know. So that these 2 bridges are there. Now, sir, the cause for sudden deterioration, why the structure has crumbled. So, as per my discussion with PLD officers, we've had a tour of the Public Accounts Committee towards Southwest Garo Hills, and from there I came to learn a lot about overloaded trucks. Now, the trucks have been designed to a maximum capacity, and their optimum capacity, it also links to the tire pressure. So if the tire pressure is more, then the added pressure adds on to the weight of the vehicle, and the road cannot withstand against its design because of the overloaded trucks and the additional weight that the vehicles carry. So if we say that there must have been structural faults, construction faults on the Dorsford Bridge, I have done an analysis of the entire Shillong bypass, 47-kilometer stretch, and we have also seen that the entire Shillong bypass is also destroyed. Sudden crumbling of the entire Shillong bypass. And I really appreciate the company that does the maintenance and repair of the Shillong bypass. No other road in the state, sir, I can proudly say, that can meet up with the efforts that have been put into repair and maintain the Shillong bypass since the road has been opened up for traffic. But that maintenance also cannot cope up with the kind of tire pressure, with the kind of overloading of the trucks that were plying through the Shillong bypass. Now, the Shillong bypass and its deterioration, along with the Dorsford Bridge, has been an exploitation of a few, where the greed of a few, they have totally destroyed. This seemingly being supported by the inactivity and the casualness and the lack of responsibility of the Transport Department. The Transport Department has its way bridges before the start of the Shillong bypass from Gentiles, coming from Gentiles, sir, because that's where from the maximum of the overloaded trucks have been coming. And because these trucks have overloaded, now the entire Shillong bypass has been destroyed. Some may disagree, but then just 2 days back, another news item came in a local Khasi daily, reporting now that the Jorobad 4-lane has also been destroyed. If you drive down to Guwahati now, that pristine asset of a state, the entire 4-lane has been destroyed, sir. All because of these overloaded trucks. Now, I have some traffic data, sir, which I have collected from some friends who've been looking at the maintenance and also the repair of the entire Shillong bypass. Maximum number of trucks that are plying, especially if we take July 2019, the total number of trucks that were total number of vehicles that were plying during the month of July 2019 was 1,14,383. These were the total number of vehicles. And two axles, 19,622. 3-axle trucks, 6,777. Heavy construction machinery, 26,420. And oversized vehicles, only 7. So, come to September 2020, because of the lockdown, truck 2-axle, 12,729, 3-axle commercial vehicle, 3,264, heavy construction machinery, 17,194, and 10 oversized vehicles. So averaging, sir, around 1,500 to 1,700 trucks were plying along the Shillong bypass. Now that is a meager number of trucks, sir, that are plying 24 hours. So with only few trucks, how can they destroy the Shillong bypass? How can they destroy this bridge? The only logical conclusion would be the overloading, which is corroborated by the destruction of the Shillong bypass and also the destruction of the 4-lane. So now, because the Dorsford Bridge cannot be utilized fully, now there is a diversion of traffic now. All the trucks that were supposed to come from Guwahati to Shillong bypass and onto the different parts of the northeast, now they are all coming back to Shillong, sir, to the pre-Shillong bypass days. And all those trucks coming from different parts of northeast and Gentiles, again plying through Shillong, sir. So we are being drawn back to history, sir, where the Shillong city will be now suffering because of the greed of a few who have exploited and utilized maybe the incapacity of the transport department to check the overloaded trucks. Now our roads, our pristine assets have become victims because of the greed of a few. So, complaints have come of extortion. There are videos that are uploaded in the social media that trucks now are being even extorted also. You should see the parking there at the Lat Umrai because of the failure of the destruction of the structure of Dwarksoi Bridge. Now all the trucks are being parked there at Lat Umrai, becoming an inconvenience for me, for other commuters, for the entire people of Eastern Riew, for the entire people of Riew, and the ones who are moving towards Assam. All the trucks are plying there. Now, these trucks are also piled on into that small overbridge, that overhead pass that we are seeing there at Lat Umrai. All the trucks are parked there now. You should see the heavy machinery, you should see the amount of heavy trucks. So, some trucks, in spite of the orders that have been issued by the Deputy Commissioner and the checks that have been put in place, some trucks are still plying at night, sir. Some trucks are still plying at night along the Shillong bypass, across this dilapidated Dwarksoi Bridge. So, full checking is not going on. The commitment is not there. So, there is also a theory, maybe an allegation that the Nahai was supposed to construct a new bridge. When the Shillong bypass was constructed, a new bridge was supposed to be there, but then the Nahai did not construct the new bridge. They took over this old bridge that was constructed under NEC. People are asking, why did the Nahai not construct a new bridge? Was it part of the DPR? Was it part of the LOA? And why was not it constructed? Was it withdrawn at the last moment? What are the reasons? Now, sir, the transport department should be pulled up. This is all because the failure of the transport department, sir. The destruction of the Shillong bypass, the destruction of the 4-lane is all because of the failure of the transport department, and now PWD has to answer for all their lack of responsibility and withdrawal of duties. So, we need to come with short-term and long-term perhaps plans. How do we prevent any kind of catastrophe to happen? Whether these trucks that till now, because of the lockdown and the corona pandemic regulations, the odd and even movement of vehicles is still applicable in the state capital. But then these trucks, they are allowed without odd even regulations. Farmers are suffering. Their produce are not being allowed because odd even regulation is still there for them. For sumos, that regulation is still there. But then what about the trucks? We should see, sir. All these things are happening because it is a collective effort that the government should put in. I won't put the entire blame on PWD department, sir.
Sir, first of all, I would like to thank our honorable local MLA from Mumbai, who has highlighted few important issues. And I would like also to tell him and to assure that those issues raised by him is noted down by me, by my officers, and then accordingly we will examine what can be done for the interest of the movement of the traffic in that particular Shillong bypass, and also for the safety of our people in the state. Sir, the Jingkiengnar Dwarksoi was constructed by the PWD way back in the year 2008, and the scheme sanction was from RIDF 12. we got the sanction from RIDF NABARD 12th, and the sanctioned amount was in the last part of 2007, and work was started sometimes in the month of January 2008, and ultimately the contractor so allotted the work. He completed the above bridge on the 22nd 12/2009. Sir, prior to the spring of 2014, NH40 from Guwahati to Shillong and NH44 from Shillong to Nongsynshar passes through the heart of the city Shillong, which is overpopulated and congested. These highways constitute the only surface access to Mizoram, Tripura, besides connecting the Barak Valley of Lower Assam, Brahmaputra Valley of Lower Assam to Barak Valley of the Kasia region of Assam. Goods trucks traverses these highways daily carrying goods besides coal limestone mine in Meghalaya. In addition, commuter buses and vehicles also plying through this route, rendering these existing two-lane highway no longer capable of handling the overgrowing traffic. Then, sir, the alignment of the Shillong bypass starts at 61.80 km of National Highway 40, Guwahati Shillong Tamabil Road at Umyam, Barapani, and terminates at Mawphor at 35.10 km of NH 44 Shillong Jawai Road. Alignment passes through Riew 6 for a length of 23.276 km, including Jingkiengnar and East Castles district for a length of 26.4 km. The total length was 49.676 km. Originally, the Shillong bypass was proposed for double-lane road. The land acquisition estimate for construction of two-lane Shillong bypass was sanctioned by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, New Delhi, on the 18/7/2000, amounting to rupees 863.70 lakhs. Accordingly, the state government during 2004 acquired the land required for the bypass with an average width of approximate 24 meters. However, in 2005, the Government of India approved for implementation of two-laning Shillong bypass by the National Highway Authority of India on BOT basis under Phase A of SARDP Northeastern States. The existing road of the Shillong bypass was handed over to Nahai on the 1st December 2010 for its implementation with a cessational period of 20 years, including 3 years construction period. The work was completed in the spring of 2014. Sir, on seeing the reports from the local newspaper, the officials of Nahai inspected the Umtro Bridge on the 15/10/2020 along with the representative of the concessionaire and also all local NGOs, and during the inspection it was observed that there are cracks in all the three girders in U shape and almost in the same line. Then again, Nahai official inspected the bridge on the 22/10/2020 along with the SE NH PWD roads, and they did the NDT non-destructive test and core cutting test. And this test was ultimately sent to IIT Guwahati and also to the technical expert team of National Highway in Delhi. So waiting the final outcome, again on the 4th of this month, 2020, I convened a meeting where the project director stationed in Shillong of the Nahai also attended the meeting, and ultimately, sir, State Pollution Department and the Nahai, we have decided to take some temporary alternative steps for ensuring the smooth flow of traffic in that particular portion. And now the proposal was sent to the ministry as well as the Nahai authority that a subway be created immediately, and this subway is known as steel bridge in bracket, we call it technically Bailey Bridge, and this has to be started immediately for the temporary relief of the bridge. That is the status right now. And also, sir, I've already instructed my Principal Secretary Pollution as well as Secretary Pollution along with the Chief Engineer National Highway to update or to review the status of the following up of this decision we taken on weekly basis. So I understand the concern of our honorable local MLA, and this is also the concern of the government and even the people who has to transit from this particular road. I think government is taking all efforts to make sure that temporary alternative is in place at the earliest possible. Sir, the second point raised by the honourable member from Mumbai relating to the diversion of the traffic right now, those heavy loaded vehicles, government has issued an order. Those loaded heavy vehicles, now they have to divert via Shillong city. And we already kept even the timing, and the timing is from 9 o'clock in the evening till 6 o'clock in the morning on daily basis. And instruction has been issued to all the concerned district administrations to make sure that the order is followed and adhered to accordingly. Then when we come to the lifespan of this Umyam Lake Bridge or Umyam Dam, we call it dam, because the lifespan of this particular approach or bridge is more than 50 years. However, I received a technical report from the MECL where from their end they have already indicated that the maximum capacity carriage who's supposed to ply over that or over this dam should not cross 40 metric ton. It should not cross 40 metric ton. Any loaded vehicle should not carry beyond 40 metric ton. And again, this order will come out maybe today from the MECL. They will issue the order, and also jointly with the government, we will make sure that all the loaded trucks should abide by the recommendation made by the technical expert from MECL, and also the state PLUD and the government, the department concerned, has to comply accordingly. So, sir, the other points raised by the honourable member regarding the overloading, I just wanted to clarify here. As far as national highway is concerned, in fact, this road is being maintained, monitored by the national highway. It is not the responsibility of the state PLUD or the state government. In case if there is any damage, Nahai has to take care of all repairing costs or repairing activities, whatever rises, they have to do it. Of course, again, I had a meeting recently with the RO from Guwahati, along with the senior officers of the National Highway. They met me again in my office. I raised this issue of damages that has happened all along the Jorabad up to, not only up to the border of Meghalaya, up to the border of Assam, Barak Bali, where the road condition is so bad. And they have already assured me that repairing work will be started very soon. As we all know, due to the pandemic that has happened, all the repairing work which were supposed to be taken up, they could not do that. And now we have also relaxed. The relaxation has taken place as far as the SOPs protocols, particularly for the repairing issues of the national highway connecting other states in the northeastern region. So, sir, with this clarification, and I would like to once again assure the honourable member and the members of this August House that the issue of reconstruction or repairing or rearranging the temporary alternative is now in the offing, and I'll make sure that this has to happen at the earliest possible, and also for reconstruction or maybe for realignment. That may take a little time from the national highway authorities, but we will pursue it aggressively to make sure that the Shillong bypass is again back to original.